What is up, Patreon? What is up, YouTube? I am at one of my favorite thinking spots, which is just a bench under this tree in my neighborhood, or like adjacent to my neighborhood. I usually walk here and I pray, I communicate with spirit. Every now and then I bring my notebook and I do some scripting, which is a part of my spiritual practice. But I also work on actual scripts for productions. Like today I have this script. Have my coffee, there's an apple in my pocket because I'm probably gonna eat something out here, but I'm making this video to share with you one of my methods of memorizing a script pretty fast if you don't have someone to work with you on it, and if you just need to get your head clear and get your head full of the information so that you can regurgitate the information in an authentic way. I like to think of it as learning the script as opposed to memorizing the script. I'm also letting my hair dry out here because I just refreshed it with a little bit of water, make those curls pop for my audition. So what I do immediately, if it's a one-page script or like 2 pages, or if the dialogue doesn't actually take up a lot of space, I immediately write it down by hand. When I'm doing this, it's kind of a muscle memory thing, and it allows me to subconsciously absorb the information through my body. That sounds really dense, but basically it's this physiological, like, neuro thing. It's something with your brain. It's science. It works. So write it down. That's like the first run through. And I write it down with no punctuation. Now, if it's a script that has a lot of dialogue between many people, I'm just going to use this as an example. I'll write it and I'll kind of put the trigger words or the stopping points, basically the last word someone else says before I start saying what I'm saying. I'll write that down as well, not just my dialogue. But if it's just one big opening monologue, I'll write that big chunk and call it a day. And then I'll use like crayons or highlighters to kind of help me look at it, so I'm not having to zoom in with, and like read it. I just kind of know where my landing marks are. But today we're working on a commercial, which is basically a big chunk of dialogue that I have to memorize and say all in one shot. And I do that basically by writing it down. I'll say it out loud a few times, and then what I'll do is I'll say it to the camera one time, and then I'll play it back while reading this in my head to make sure that I actually know it. That's how I kind of proofread myself or fact check myself in case I don't have someone with me to quiz me on it. And then, of course, if it's dialogue between multiple people, what I'll do is I'll read the entire script and I'll cover my portion of it with my hand, and I'll guess what I think I'm supposed to say next, and then I'll move my hand down the sheet, and if it's the same as what I thought it was going to be, then I pass the test. But if it's one big chunk and you need to know if you memorized a whole big chunk, I'll actually just record myself saying it. It also gets me used to how it feels in your mouth. Sometimes these words come together in a tongue twisty kind of way, and I find that doing it this way is very helpful. And yeah, it gets all the bugs out. It gets all that like tongue-tied nervousness out. Like, I have to say the words complex financial environment, cross-checking databases. There's a sentence in here that I get a little tongue-tied. Identity verification solutions. Saying that really fast, saying words like that very fast can get like tongue-tied. So I just wanted to share that little tidbit with you, a little behind the scenes, like how I prep for a scene. If it's a scene with dialogue, I kind of quiz myself by putting my hand over it and then revealing, the cover and reveal kind of like method. And then if it's a big chunk, I'll just record the chunk and then listen back to see if I said it right with the words in my hand. So it's a pretty simple system. I think I'm going to go ahead and record this today. I got the script last night and I just wrote it down really quickly and then went to bed. I didn't spend a lot of time on it, and then today I'm going to do the audition. I can pretty much get a page and a half of dialogue. And this isn't a conversation. This is straight up like a monologue. I can get a page and a half worth of content in my brain in less than an hour. If you do this enough, you kind of train your body, you train your brain to be able to learn material well. And I'll probably make another video about this, but I just wanted to make this and kind of share this little in the process, because I know on Patreon we talk about, you know, not just the stopping point, or we don't talk about point B and just point A. We talk about that little space in between, and this is definitely a part of that space in between. So I hope you guys are having a great day. I hope you're feeling well rested or productive or whatever your goal was to feel today. I'm kind of taking my time and moving through the motions because I need to do that today. And I'll see you in the next video.